Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now, about 7 months ago, I announced on the channel that I was going to take my Institute of Advanced Motorists Masters qualification. I announced it as my biggest driving challenge yet. Well, that's 7 months ago, and I haven't really done an update since. And my plans were scuppered just a little bit, but we're back on track. So I thought I would give you an update and let you know how I'm getting on. So in case you haven't seen the video I put out 7 months ago, I'll put a link to it in the top right hand corner of your screen. But IAM Road Smart is an organisation that promotes advanced driving. I did my advanced driving test way back in 2008, and they approached me last year actually and said, would I like to do my Masters? It's a big thing. There are only about 1,000 people who have their Masters qualification in the UK, so it's by no means a light undertaking. But I got stuck in, and the big challenge we had to start with, I was using Ruby Roadster, which is parked over there, a manual car, but the car wasn't great for filming and it's quite harsh and noisy, and we decided to change to my Clubman. Now, obviously, big difference between the Mini Roadster and the Mini Clubman is one's a manual and one's an automatic. So I did my first few sessions in the Mini Clubman, and one of the things about Masters driving is you really do have to understand how to drive the car to the system, and it takes quite a while to kind of get your head around that, and I was just starting to get my head around it with the Clubman when the Clubman hit a big log and got written off. And what that meant was I didn't have the Clubman. It took 3 months to sort the problem out, and therefore I couldn't actually do any Masters driving sessions for over 3 months. It was nearly 4 months. So I just started to get my head around things, and then I had literally a 4-month gap where I didn't do anything. And then along comes Lady P, and we decided that this would be the car to do the Masters in. What I've then got to do though is totally almost relearn the techniques and understand how to drive this car to the system. Now, luckily, very luckily, Mark, my mentor, has a Cayman S, so he already has a really good understanding of how to drive that car to the system and experience of doing that for the last 2 years. So we were able to kind of get up to speed relatively quickly. We had the first session in the Boxster was literally just a kind of familiarization, get my head around the car, understand the techniques of driving to the system. And then we've had a number of sessions since. Now, I don't film the sessions, or all of them, because to be quite honest, each lesson is about an hour and a half long. I have to do a commentary drive for the whole hour and a half, and it's very intense. It requires a huge amount of concentration, but I also want to show you what the process is like. So in our last session, we ran the cameras, and I've just chosen a 10-minute piece of my driving with me doing commentary and just showing the kind of things we're looking for, the kind of interaction between myself and Mark. And I thought you would find it interesting. So let's roll the footage, and then I'll talk about what's next and when my test is. Right. Best start driving properly now, wouldn't I?
You were driving properly. It's just settle down into it and think about the things you've done before. It's been a while since we've been out together. You do need to be on it all the time. This is all about safe progress where it's appropriate. If you're coming off the corners and there's a straight road and you're in a national speed limit, you need to be approaching 60 miles an hour. So just think about it, yeah? We're not playing anymore. This is not very long to your Masters test. We do need to be on it. Your commentary's really good. You can't fault the commentary, but now you need to be thinking about what you're doing coming into bends, off of bends, looking to make that progress.
Solid white line centre carriageway, no vehicles behind. No overtake currently possible. Road bearing over a crest down to the right, and then up ahead we've got a sweeping left-hand bend with chevrons. It's going to enter the braking phase. On the brake, going to come off the brake, on the gas. There's not much I can do apart from keep a safe distance behind me in the car in front. Road bearing sharply to the left up ahead. with a junction on the offside, just round the corner. That vehicle's just come out of that junction, a little bit of caution. But again, with a vehicle up ahead, there's not much more I can do other than keep a safe distance. Road bearing sharply to the right up ahead. Hazard line centre carriageway, no vehicles behind. May well be an overtake coming up, but I'm just going to keep an eye out for that. Maintain a safe distance. That was too short for an overtake. Road bearing round to the right up ahead. Hazard line centre carriageway, still no vehicles behind. Road bearing round to the left over a crest, oncoming vehicle, no overtake. I am looking for an overtake, the car's doing 40 and a 60. Road narrowing up ahead over the crest. It's going to back off a little bit just in case he needs to brake. Hazard line centre carriageway, oncoming vehicle, road bearing round to the left. Up ahead, road bearing round to the right, oncoming van, warning sign on the left hand side for sharp bend to the right. Try and stay reasonably close in case there's an overtake. Still no overtake possible. Road bearing round to the left up ahead. I've now got a vehicle approaching behind.
Be careful about staying too close for too long. Okay, so I don't know this road, you might know it.
I don't know it at all.
But safe stopping distance.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn right at the end. Try not to stay too close for too long. I know you were looking for the overtake, but try and move up and drop back and say what you're doing. So, you know, moving up to the overtake position, off the bend, no overtake, dropping back to safe stopping distance.
Yeah.
Come to another bend, move up to the overtake position, no overtake, drop back.
Yeah.
But say what you're doing.
Okay. Okay, national speed limit 60 miles an hour, multiple vehicles oncoming. White van behind, up ahead we've got a crossroads. White van turning right into crossroads, crossroads in 100 yards. There's a vehicle on the left hand side looking to pull out. Has he seen me? I'm going to take a position in the centre of the road. He has, I'm going to carry on. Keeping arrows up ahead, hazard line going to solid white line, no overtake, road bearing round to the right. Going to come up behind this black vehicle and maintain a safe distance. He's doing pretty much the speed limit anyway. Multiple oncoming vehicles. Quick check in the mirrors. Van is keeping a safe distance up ahead, road bearing round to the right. Keep in arrows, hazard line going to solid white line, no overtake. We've got road bearing left then right for 1 mile. Vehicle just joined the carriageway from the offside. Slow markings on the centre carriageway. Quick mirror check, van still at a safe distance. Another van behind. Road bearing round to the right, solid white line. I'm just going to take a position as far to the right as I can just to open up the bend slightly. Road bearing round to the right, oncoming vehicle, chevrons. Just using gravity just to slow the car down, no need for braking. Again, positioning the car to the left-hand side of the road, open up the road. Road bearing round to the right, solid white line turning to hazard for a short period, then back down, keep in arrows, solid white line again, no overtake. Vehicle behind still at a safe distance, still 60 miles an hour, oncoming black car. Solid white line, road goes up a hill, bears round to the right. We've got a change of speed down to 40 miles an hour. Just going to come off the gas slightly, it was only doing just over 40 anyway. Road bearing round to the right, solid white line. Vehicle closed up a little bit behind. Just keeping an eye on the car in front. Brakes, oncoming big truck, road bearing sharply to the right, chevrons, solid white line centre carriageway. Vehicle up ahead just lifting off the gas slightly and just slowing speed down. Going downhill, I'm going to take a manual override. I'm in fourth currently. I'm going to change down to third gear. Still 40 miles an hour, down into 30. That was a bit quick for me. I didn't see that coming. 30
Did
miles
you
an
check
hour.
your mirrors before you braked?
To be honest, I saw that. No, I didn't.
It's the value of checking your mirrors lots, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't expect you to either, because you saw the 30 late like I did.
Yeah, I knew
You
the
knew
vehicle was there.
you knew the van was there.
and he was in a safe distance.
Absolutely, but it just kind of reinforces the need to check your mirrors really frequently, just in case something like that happens.
Yeah.
I didn't know that 30 was coming up no more than you did.
It was bloody quick.
There are a lot of, I don't know if you've seen them, they're starting to put dragon's teeth on the roads
Yeah.
before a bend where there's going to be a change of speed limit afterwards. So just trying to think where there is one. Between Bishop's Waltham and Botley,
Yeah.
there's a change at Kerbridge down to 40 from a national, and the Dragon's Teeth start before the bend, just to warn you that there's going to be a change of speed limit.
Yeah.
And you know, that road there would benefit from that road marking.
So I'm going to come back out of manual override, back into D, still 30 miles an hour, van is still at a safe distance, road up ahead bearing round to the left, solid white line centre carriageway, quick flip of the wipers just to clear the screen, up ahead, change of speed up to national speed limit 60 miles an hour, solid white line to hazard line, quick check of the mirrors, back up to national speed limit, keeping arrows, hazard line to centre carriageway, solid white line, no overtake, multiple oncoming vehicles, road bearing round to the left. Up ahead we've got warning for horses. We've also got road bearing round to the right with a multiple exits, one near side, one offside. Keeping arrows, hazard line back down to solid white line, no overtake. Still bins on the left hand side of the road there, so just keep a caution for bin trucks. No vehicles on that junction, safe to proceed. Road bearing round to the left, solid white line goes to hazard line, but straight back again to solid white line over a crest, bearing round to the right, and then bend going round to the left. Vehicle just took a little bit of a break there in front, so just a bit of caution. Quick mirror check, van still at a safe distance. I'm just going to come tiny bit of brake, back on the gas. Don't really need to adjust too much. I'm just going to stay at a safe distance.
That was nice though.
That.
You didn't need to brake much. You just rested your foot on the brakes.
Yeah.
I was watching your speedo. It dropped 2 or 3 miles an hour and then gently back on the gas. Do that every corner.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that we're changing direction. I don't want to know that we're changing the speeds, but I do want you to get on with it.
Yeah. Still on a 60 mile an hour road. We've got multiple cars up ahead, maintaining a safe distance, no visible overtake currently.
That was an overtake opportunity. There's a landing place between that car and the car in front. We came off that bend doing 45.
Yeah.
And you had a section of straight roads, but you couldn't do it because you weren't close enough.
Yeah, because we were chatting.
So that's when you kind of need to look for the overtake.
Okay.
So I'd be up to the overtake position here. Can't see enough, backing off. It goes over a rise, up to the overtake. Is there an overtake? We're doing 45. If there was, then I'd be taking it.
Yeah.
I can't see the road markings or the road. You can see that better than me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we got the hatch box area.
there's a garage, so you're not going to take an overtake right outside a garage, because if somebody pulls out, you've had it.
We might do over this corner though, as it opens up.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Move up to the overtake.
No, lots of hatching. Road up ahead.
Park lorry on the left,
lorry,
no chance.
so no way.
And then drop back.
All the cross
So
hatching
it's
is
that
going solid white
continual
line.
move up, looking for it. No, it's not on. Drop back.
Yeah. So that's just 10 minutes out of a session. In fact, that session, because we'd had a bit of a gap, we actually did a double session on that day. I did about an hour and a half. We then stopped, we had a coffee, we had a debrief, and then we went out for about another hour. So 2.5 hours of driving, and honestly, mentally, it's very, very challenging. Your levels of concentration on the road, on driving to the system, on the commentary, everything, your senses are just fired up to the maximum, and it tires you out massively. But in the sessions we've had, I now have a really good understanding of how to drive this car to the system and how to drive to Masters standard. Mark didn't want me to enter into the test unless I was test ready, but also distinction ready. So we've decided I am. So I've actually got my test date. It's the second week of October, which is rapidly coming up. And we've got 2 or 3 sessions left before the test, and lots of practice. The test is with a ex-police Class 1 advanced driver, someone who has incredibly high standards. Luckily, I already know him, Sean, and I'm looking forward to the test. But it's going to be an hour and a half on roads I don't know. I have to do the commentary drive for the whole way, and in order to get a distinction in that hour and a half, I can make very few mistakes. basically you get marked for each mistake you make, 1, 2 or 3, depending on how severe the mistakes are, and the number of marks I can have, or if you like, the number of things I can do wrong really isn't very much. So there's a lot of pressure on, and I really want to make sure I do well. But that's the update. It's not that I haven't been doing stuff. Obviously, we had 4 months where, unfortunately, the plan was for me to have already done my test and passed or failed by now. But here we are in September, and we're nearly getting test ready. There's still a lot of work to do. For me, one of the things I've learned, I think, in the whole process is just the level of observation, the level of planning. And I don't mean planning before your journey. I mean planning while you're in the car, while you're driving down a road. You approach a hazard, a roundabout or a turn or a crest or a junction, and you are instantly planning how you're going to approach that hazard. You know, do you need to reduce speed? Do you need to position the car in a certain way to give you the best view around a corner? Do you need to be wary of cars pulling out from either side? You know, do you need to be making sure that you know what's behind you? In that short clip, you know, one of the things that I think is the most challenging is overtakes, and making sure that you plan an overtake, that you do it in the correct place, and you're out in the danger lane, if you like, as little as possible, but you do it in a safe manner. And for me, it's just totally changed the way I look at driving. So a very, very worthwhile process so far, that's for sure. I'll keep you posted. I'm putting some social posts on things like Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, so if you're not following me on those, I know I say that quite regularly, but you know, please make sure that you do. I put so much extra content on those other social media channels, and I appreciate you're not maybe on all of those, but it's certainly a way of me sharing the kind of behind the scenes stuff that might not justify an entire YouTube video. Please put in the comments what you think. I know from having done a couple of these now, there are a few of you that have your advanced test, or there are some Masters graduates in here as well that have got your Masters test. So, you know, let me know what do you think of my driving and my commentary. I know I've had comments from people who are observers with IAM Road Smart, or even examiners as well. So I'll keep you posted. Lots and lots of work between now and the middle of October. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next film. But yes, lots more work. It's not long now. Panic setting in. But I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Distinction ready, Mark. I promise.